So in this session, session 3, we're going to be taking our website to a customization completely of the front page. We need to do some housekeeping first, some very important housekeeping to make our site SEO friendly, of course. But what we're going to end up with is a scrollable look and feel like we have on our real demonstration site. So remember, this website we've created completely from scratch. In session 1, we looked at the understanding of folders and galleries and images and pages, of course. Then we gave it some basic navigation. We gave it a look and a feel to the front page and followed through. In session 2, we created that fully customizable navigation to actually go to the correct place. We built the different pages, even though we just used the lorem ipsum. We kind of explained the different kind of layouts so that you can get really into a customization of your site pretty quickly as such. But realistically, on the front page, we haven't done a good job yet. We've just done a basic style design, and we want to go through that. So first of all, let's do that housekeeping. That is absolutely essential now, okay? So let's go into login, and we'll log in to the site. Remember, this is a completely dummy site that we're creating just for this session. And because we're in a free trial of 14 days, you can see that we've got 10 days left here at the top and things really. It does give you hints and tips. That's the one great thing I would say about the kind of getting going with SmugMug anyway. It will give you some advice kind of going in. Right, let's go into the little icon in the top right hand side here, and we're going to click into account settings. Now, because of a little bit of a quirk or whatever it is, it has this kind of verify new email address in there. For as long as that is in there, okay, it's going to ask you to save as you exit to somewhere else. So just be aware of that. So either delete it before you move to somewhere else, or basically just discard changes and things really. We really want to work in discovery in this session now, and it's in the housekeeping we're going to be really looking at the SEO. So one of the fundamental things that we all know to do with a website is being able to get visible and a natural search, free search on Google, as it were. And so it's important that we write out some words beforehand. I've done that already. I've done more words than we require, in fact, because I want to show you the issues with that. Plus, I've also created some keywords down here so we can copy and paste in, and even those, there's too much as well. So I'm just going to copy this text on the side, and I'm going to paste it into the homepage metadata description. So if you look up here in the question mark, description of your site for search engines, this will help search engines rank your site and display a meaningful description of it. Okay, so empowering women of all generations through the boudoir photography experience photo shoot. FR boudoir photography brings, okay, so I can't put an S in there a minute. Why? Because there's already too many words. That's why it's run out of words here. Okay, so brings out the real you, a sexy, more glamorous side, a perfect special occasion, milestone birthday, a confident builder, a pamper session. That's it, we're done. Even though we've lost out on some other parts, we've only really missing out on a session or as a pre-wedding treat for your partner. That's all we're missing out on there as far as the words are concerned. So that's pretty good. Now we want to work on the metadata keywording again. So once more, just off screen, I'm going to go ahead and copy some text into here, and once more we're going to run out. Okay, so if you did a bit of a comparison of what you've already got in the above, as it were, you know you've already got F4 boudoir photography and so on with it. You've already got photographers. However, let's if we were to leave those in, really what we're trying to do is photography, photographers, sexy, glamorous, birthday, probably, confidence, pamper. We don't need session. We want wedding, portrait, wall art, secret, picture box, curvy, mum, mother, superwoman, perfectionist, boss lady, businesswoman, woman, diva, drama queen, party animal. Again, you can obviously pick out your own keywords, but I just thought I'd give you an idea of how I look at things and who this avatar is I'm trying to attract into the site and things really. I suppose the only real one that I'm missing in here is gift, and I'd really want to actually put that in here. So probably the word of party animal, I'm going to just change that to gift. And we're done. Then with site visibility, we obviously want it to be searched. SmugMug searchability means that you can actually search different images or web pages, even photographers, through the keywording, and you can switch that on or off. So if you don't want to just be searchable through the SmugMug environment, you can do that. As far as the file name keywording as well, I definitely want to allow SmugMug to automatically extract keywords from the file names. Do I? If I'm using clients' names within the keywording, within their galleries, do I really want that kind of accessible and things really? So I would say in a boudoir kind of business, perhaps that is not the best thing. So it just goes from there. As far as the show in the browser title and in bookmarks, what I'm looking for now is how I want to represent myself. And I'm just going to copy in boudoir photography designed to empower all women. Okay, so that's my site title as such, yes. And I'm just going to press save. And once that's done, just double check it by kind of moving away from it. And you can see that has kind of created what we want to do. So there's our little bit of housekeeping done, okay, before we get into the design process. Right, let's click on to site, and we'll go back to the front page. Every time you click on site, it goes to the front page. All right. Remember, what we're trying to create now is a mimic of a scrolling design that I've done here. So I'm just going to bring this tab off to my other screen on my right-hand side. That's where I'm going to be copying the kind of the look and the feel as far as the words and the pictures design-wise and everything else, okay? So let's go into Customize Design. Remember, you've got your 3 dots up here to, as far as the new site design, that's what we just did. Change your site themes to do with the color. That's the key one. Customize Design now is really what we're trying to do. And in the design settings, remember, this is where we give it its name. Yes. So design name. So we're going to do F4 boudoir, and we're going to call it Zoe. And I would give it a year so I can reference it. SmugMug header is going to be off. The SmugMug footer is going to be mini. And then as far as the powered by SmugMug is going to be on the right or the left or the center, that's really down to you. Independent homepage is what we want to click. But before we do that, let's put the favicon in. If you remember, in session 2, in the housekeeping, we changed that favicon. That's the little icon that's going to be up on the URL tab at the top here, yes? But because we changed the design, look and feel, it basically said, well, okay, that favicon was for that design. You need to put in a new favicon for this design. So we click into it again. We just go into the logo, and whatever your logo is, remember, it doesn't have to be your logo. It can be anything you want, a picture, and so on with it. I'm just going to press done to that. But I do want to, at this point, click on the independent homepage now, and I'm just going to press save. What this is now going to do is completely ignore everything that is in the rest of the site. Okay, so we're trying to ensure now that we can create the kind of the look and feel that we want. So the first thing that we want, this is the header bar. So if we look at the entire site, this is being ignored. If you remember that basically in the entire site, this is how it looks. However, in the home page, that logo is not there. The logo is not there because this is an independent home page. So let's first of all get a title. So we just click onto the right-hand side, we click on text, we click on title, and then we drag the title on. And then you can see it where it goes to green, and you can then place it in that position. So in this case, we've got the boudoir photographer, and we've got the medium-sized text. We've got the alignment is left. I want that in center. We've got the default color. It can be muted if that's what we want. It can be an accented color to do with the design that we're going for. We're going to go into the muted color for now, line height, line space, and so on. These are all things that we can come back to at another stage. We'll leave this carousel here. If you missed the carousel before, basically all we need to do is remove that block. We'll go into the plus, we come into photos, and we drag in carousel, and we want it to go below the boudoir photographer. And in this case, we go to a gallery or popular photographs, recent photographs, or photos I choose. I tend to use either a gallery or photos I choose. In this case, to make it nice and easy, we're going to use gallery, click on choose gallery, and then as far as the front page is concerned, if we go into images and portfolio, if it doesn't exist in here, so this is the portfolio 23, confidential and so on with it, is this the first gallery? We'll keep it onto the front here. Just going to press done. And there's our gallery. We can go back and change this, which I'll show you soon. We can also change its height of how much it will actually be on the actual screen. Remember, as you upload images, and the whole design is based around smart, intelligent, smug mug. So it recognizes somebody's looking on an iPad or a smartphone or a screen, and it will adjust the site automatically. That is why when you upload images, it automatically makes multiple copies in different sizes of that same image. Makes it nice and easier for downloading files if you're selling files, or for yourself, but it's mainly to do with the visibility. So we've got that. The next thing on the other screen, we have technically another title. So we'll go into text, and we can either drop in text or in a title. If I drop in another title, yes, as you can see, I can change the words, okay? Just from, I've copied and pasted from the other site. That's all I've done here. We put it back into the muted design again, pressing done. Now I want some text. Remember, I'm just copying from my pre-site design what I've done. Now, a little bit of a quirk that you'll all hate is when you copy and paste information in from one place into SmugMug, it basically does not kind of return down the line. So you'll have to go in and put the spacing in there yourself. Okay, I know it's a pain, and get used to it, because there's nothing that we can do about it. It doesn't recognize the different kind of line spacing and so on with it. Just going to press done, but before I do that, you can see that there is a spelling mistake, so speciality. Pressing done there. So we're scrolling down as we go. Then I've got to book your boudoir, so I may as well go for another title. If I go for a title though, I can't make the title active. In other words, it can't have a smart link. So in this case, I'm going to drag in text. Once more, I'm just going to go in and copy some text from the side, paste that in, centralize it. And at this stage, because the cursor is just on this line still, I can straight away go in and change this into heading, and I can go in and actually make it as big as I want as far as the sizing is concerned. Okay, so there's our heading going through there. The benefit though now, as you can see, is that we have an option here to make this a smart link. And all we need to do for that one is basically click on the link. It's now looking for a URL. So that was one of the reasons that we kept open the other part to begin with. We want to take them to the Book Now page. And unlike we saw in session 2, where we were directing them to a page, because this is a smart link, we want them to, we only can do it through a URL kind of here. Now, we talked about in session 2 as well about from the front page, we want the front page to remain open no matter what. So we're going to click on to open in a new window, and the answer is going to be yes to that one. And then we basically press done. So you can see that we've got the Book Your Boudoir, the portrait just highlighted down here now. It's a smart link. It's changed its color because of that. We're going to press done. And then we're going to add some graphics for kind of it to look like the book now page and things really. So single photograph, we're going to put it below the actual book your portrait now. We're going to click on the photo. We're going to go into the kind of assets that we need. So logo and images. Is there anything in here? No, there's not. Boudoir products. Is there information? So at this point, we don't have the images for the site design, do we? Okay, so there's nothing here. So I can either put them into the logo images, I can upload into this, or I can create a new gallery. One of the benefits of having a separate tab opened with the site in is from here I can go to organize, yes, and I can create a new folder or gallery or even a web page. In this case, I'm just going to do a folder, and this would be site-wide images. And as far as the security, it's basically unlisted, so nobody can find them, even in the search part. They can only get there with a link. And then within there, I want to create a gallery. And in this case, it would be site design graphics. And you know what I'm like, I copy and paste this in, so I've got my description because I can search for it on the actual site itself. Remember, as far as the gallery preset is concerned, we've got there, but we also have the ability to go in and actually click on site design. That's that smart preset that we created in session 1. So let's create, let's upload, and then just off screen, I've got my kind of graphics in here. So what am I looking for? Site-wide graphics. This is what we're going for. So in this case, I'm going to select all of these and drag them in. I did mention whilst we were getting going in session 1, before I started session 1, I spent about an hour gathering all the graphics together, the images that I wanted together, and the text that I want to actually say. So that was my kind of pre-design. The way I do that is just, I call it beer mat marketing, but it's basically on a small piece of paper, I kind of draw out, mind map or map out how I want things to basically flow to each other and so on with it. And that's why we could easily build the kind of the pages that we're doing. So you can see that I haven't had to change the quality or the file size of any of these photographs at all, including an 88 megabyte PNG file that just got uploaded into it. Let SmugMug deal with the multi kind of making. You can see how fast it is, all right? So it just, yeah, completely changed that whole thing. So the good news is in our, here now, if we just go back into the main part, go back into home, we've now got this folder. Because I was already in the home part, I needed to do something to then basically reveal this site-wide images here. Okay, so clicking into it, and then I want to book now, pressing done. Okay, so it's really, really big on screen. We want to change its size first. So photo size, let's do extra large first. That's too big. Let's try large. And let's do medium. Medium's about right. And action on click, we want it to go to a URL. Yes, do you remember where we were going before? At this stage, just to make it nice and easy for me, I'm clicking on site. That will open up a new tab when I press the control key. You can see the favicon is now showing up here, and it basically shows our information at the top that we put in as far as the search was concerned. And we're going to, because we're in design mode, that doesn't like me, let's go into here, and we'll go into pages, and we're going to go into the book now. We're going to view this page. So that's where I'm going to get my URL from. Customizing design, pop my URL in here. Remember, we're on the front page, so we want it to open up a new tab. Yes. Info style is off. Center photograph is on. We've set the size and the aspect is clear as well. So what this round is just a PNG kind of little button I've made in Photoshop. Make sure the edges of the graphic are basically very, very tight to the round and things really. So they're quite easy to actually do. Pressing done. And then what we want to do is have 3 other graphics. So we're going to go plus, and we're going to go single photograph, drag it below this photograph. We're going to go and choose our image, site-wide images. And we want to have the boudoir experience, pressing done. If we don't want to do anything to it yet, because we need to kind of create the pages or whatever it is, you can leave the action to none and it's not going to go anywhere. The key thing that we want to do to begin with is fit image, and we're just going to go into small, and that's going to make it a different size, of course. We want this to go to the boudoir experience page. So in this case, we can go to our boudoir, copy the link, customization, action on click. Go to gallery means it would go to the gallery of images. Open in Lightbox would just bring it bigger on screen. And obviously what we want is the URL. Paste into that again. Remember, it's on the home page, so we need it to keep the home page open and not closed down. I do have the option to put some text above it if I want as well. I'm choosing not to. I want to have another graphic again. So single photograph, and we're going to choose it. We're going to go into the gallery again, and we want portrait vouchers. There we go. We know already we've got our gift certificates, so we can click that URL. And once more, action on click is go to URL, paste in our link, press in on, fit. We want to go to small. And we're pressing done. And then last one in this line, we're going to go to single photograph again, dragging it in. So if by any chance you kind of make a mistake, if you just drag your kind of single photograph you're trying to drop in elsewhere by mistake, either off screen, if it's off screen, nothing happens. It's kind of trying to go above now. Cancel it. That's all you've got to do. And then if you just do it again, a single photograph, you drag it in, and let's say you're putting it in the wrong space, don't worry about it. Click onto what you want first. We want the contact us, or should we do win? What should we do? We haven't got a win page yet, so let's do contact us, and we'll go back and we haven't even got a contact page yet. So let's put in the book now page as our link, and URL in towards here. But let's actually create it live, okay? Just to show you that you can do things here. So in the site kind of design here, if we go back into the site homepage, yes, then we click into pages. All we've got to do, if we don't have a contact us page, let's create that page like we did, and let's keep it to a custom, or even one that is a pre-design. Contact us. You know what I'm like. Copy it and paste in. Sorry, because I've got a graphic now with the contact us button, I may as well add that graphic as the kind of the feature image on it and things. Yes. So I'm just going to press create. It naturally goes into a design. We're not going to do it here. We're just going to basically press done, publish it, grab our URL, come back into customization. We paste the customization into contact us. We remember to turn this into a small page, clicking on to open a new link, and we're pressing done. So we don't want this by the side here. We literally want it off to the right-hand side. So we've got this lovely kind of spacing and everything else within the image itself. Let's go in and add in our social. So do we want them to go into social? as a rule, I would say, do we really need them on the front page? Because really all they're going to go to at this point is to the wrong place. Yeah. And is that good or is that bad? I want to keep them on my site, especially on the home page. So by going off to get social with us, the negative on that is we're actually taking them away from somewhere we want them to stay. So I'm not a massive fan on the front page of getting so social with us. If you did want this in here, though, basically all you've got to do is once more copy in your URLs. Let me just quickly go to the Academy Facebook page. There we go. And I'll just paste in our site on here. And we can decide on the display how it looks. So horizontal, we could have them large, medium, small, whatever you want to do. You can have square icons, or you can go to circle icons. You can actually have a branded, so that obviously is the kind of the Facebook colors, or you can give them the style as far as the website design is concerned and things. You definitely want to click on open links in new tab. You do not want to shut your own website page down just by pure kind of getting it wrong, as it were. I'll just go in a minute. I'm just working on my second screen, and I'm just going to go through again and grab our Insta. He says, looking at the Instagram. Copy there. Go down to Instagram on, popping that in there. And the reason that we're doing this, I'm going to go to our YouTube channel as well. The reason I'm doing this is to show you in real time things take, oh, that was our YouTube channel playing, sorry about that. But in real time, you've got to go through a little bit of the work. Don't worry about it. It's got to be done. Okay, we just work our way through. Then we go into our boudoir styles next. So in this case, we want to go plus again. Remember, this little green is the plus that opens up. If you're working down the right-hand side and you want to swap it over to the left, just click on this little arrow here, and that will actually swap it over to the side. If you want to shut it down for now, just click on the X, and you can basically press on the click on the plus, and it'll open up again. So once more, I want to go into text. I want a title. I want to drop it below our social icons here, and I want to go into our boudoir styles. And I want to extra large, and I want to center it, and I want to mute it. I want to press done. I'm going to just change it into medium, in fact. I think, or large. There we go. Done. And now we want to add in some images below to take them off to our galleries. Remember, the front page at this point, there is no navigation bar. The only thing that they're navigating through is a clickable link here in the book, or these page links, which are in the disguise of graphics. Let's go into a photo. So scroll back up. Get into single photograph. I want to drag it below the actual boudoir styles. Yes. And I want to go and choose an image. So in this case, we're going to go into our galleries. And we want to go into the classic. So we'll choose an image. I want to go to a vertical image for a minute. So let's just choose one of the photographs, just pressing done. I'm going to type in the word classic, and you can see what we're doing too. Where do we want it to go? So this would where we want to go to a gallery. So in this case, we're going to say, first of all, center above the image. Action on click is go to gallery. Info style is off. Center photograph is on. Photo size, fit width, what are we doing? Before I do that, though, I'm just going to go into like a medium-sized photograph. If I just grab the top of here, you can see how big it is on the length. And then what do I want it to do? I want to create a different shape. And this is where you can choose the different format aspect the ratios here to change the look to the image itself. Okay, and you can go through them choosing what is best for you. I want to go for the long skinny, which is 1:3. Okay, and we're just going to press done to that. I want to go through and do exactly the same thing, and I want to go to a single photograph. I want to go and choose a different photograph, and I want a different style. So let's go to the confidential next. Choose an image that is vertical, that will actually make it work in the way that you want. Let's choose an image that we feel would be sensitive in the same way. Action on click is go to gallery. And then the info styles off, center photograph confidential is a word I can never spell. Aspect again is 1:3. And we want it in medium, of course, to match the other size of image. And you can see how it works. The only thing we haven't done is centralize the text above the image. Pressing done. Plus again, single photograph, drag it into the side. Go and choose our different style. So it depends on how many styles that you offer, yes? So let's do bridal. And we'll just choose the image here, pressing done again. Go to gallery, info style off, fit image, medium, aspect is 1:3, centralization of the text, of course. We've got to put it in though first, bridal. And we want to centralize it, pressing done. And then we want to go to another single photograph. So remember at the top here, this is what's on the home page so far. You can collapse it at any stage by clicking on the minus there. Single photo, clicking on here again. Let's go back into our galleries and we've got the nude. So let's do that one. And we'll just choose that image there. Text size we kept to medium, centered, action on click, go to gallery, info style, center photograph, medium and 1:3, pressing done. And then the last one, single photograph, bring it to the side, clicking into our gallery, go into couples, choosing a couple image, pressing done. So already we're doing pretty good here. So let's add in some more text. If you're going to run the likes of a blog or whatever, I would really encourage you to keep this to a bare minimum unless you are going to actually follow it up. I absolutely, really get so frustrated with blogs or news that is not kind of kept up to date and things really. So if you are going to be doing that, then basically this can go off to a link to a page perhaps, which could be for offers. So in that same way, yes, if we put the text in here, what are we going to be doing? Remember, as a title at this point, it can't do anything. It can't link anywhere. So we've got to get rid of the block and add in the likes of a text to go below. Okay, so if it is the boudoir photographer, and we'll add news in. Yeah, we'll centralize. We'll make it into the heading. We'll go as big as we can within here. But of course, now we can go in and make this link to somewhere. So if we click into the news again, it's waiting for a URL. We didn't create a news page before. So back into pages, we can see that we don't have one there. So let's go into create a web page. And we're going to just do a custom one for now and press create. And this will be news. Now, if you're going to have a long title as far as that is concerned, do we really need it? Or can we just reduce it down to the bare minimum things? In the metadata, of course, that is where we can actually use it. And in the metadata words, we can do exactly the same thing again. All right, so just going to press the create. And it's going to go into the edit. Of course, we're just going to press done for now and publish it, because all we're really looking for is that URL. Copy it, cut back into the customization, clicking into the URL, pressing yes and add in link. So if we didn't want the news here, so you can see the color is quite weird, yes, as well, because that's taken on the theme. But if we didn't want this to be exactly underneath these images, we can add in a little bit of a design change. So in this case, we can actually have a spacer and we just drag it below one of the photographs, yes, and that will actually put a space between the picture and the text, as it were. And in this point, I can type in how much I want it to be. So it could be 100 pixels, let's say, yes. It could be 10 pixels. You literally have a choice as far as the design is concerned. In the same way, then, we could add in a design, and let's actually put a separator in. So this now is different to the spacer. This is going to create ourselves a little bit of a line below. So you can see we've put it in the wrong place. Let's grab the little arrow to move and press below in the down arrow, and that now arrow goes below it. So as far as my design, I want to put a video in here now. So I'm just going to click into video. And I can choose where I'm going to get the source from. Obviously, if you're running a YouTube channel, then obviously you can source it from there. As it is, though, SmugMug allows you to run up to about 21 minutes worth of video from within the site, as long as it's an MP4. So in this case, I can just drag down to here and, you know, beautiful boudoir, let's say, and paste there. And let's centralize again. And we click into the video. Well, we don't really have a video yet, do we? So basically, we're going to go back into organize. Do I want it within images and portfolio, or do I want it into site-wide images and so on with it? So in this case, I can click into the folder that we created in this session, create a new gallery, and this it would be videos. Okay, so in other words, what are we going to do? Beautiful boudoir videos, copy it, put it in the SEO as well. We want to make it in the site design, so it's unlisted as such. Don't need a featured image yet. Remember, by using that site design, it automatically switches off all the shopping channel as well with it. Going to press create. And obviously at this stage, we need to upload a video into it. Now, one of the reasons, like I was saying to you before, is creating all your assets in one place to begin with will allow you to kind of be ready for it. So in other words, we've got some reviews that we can actually use on the reviews page that are videos. I'll obviously encourage you to do that within the business anyway. But as far as this is concerned, this is our boudoir video for F4. Going to press done. That will actually take a while to process. SmugMug has to process the video into multiple videos. Remember that, even though you only ever see one on your site, one in this folder, it's basically making the multiple videos. And so it takes a little bit of time. So in that case, when we're doing the customization, remember I was showing you before, we need to go into site-wide images, go into video, and if I click on that when I press done, yes, and I center it, autoplays off, and I press done, it won't do it because it's still processing that video, unfortunately. That's one of the reasons, if you can, to ensure that you're uploading all of your assets in advance, so you'll just save that little bit of time. So that's okay, we'll cancel that for now. Yep, we'll cancel the actual video, so it hasn't put it in place. We know we're going to have that boudoir, so for now, I'm going to go and just put a text here. I'm going to drop it below the green, and drop it below the line. And this is going to be beautiful boudoir videos. I'm just going to put that, and I'm not going to change the text. I'm just going to press, because that's like a holding position for me. I know that's what I want to create. I'm also going to go back into the design element, okay? And we're going to put in that separator once more below the actual text. If you've kind of put it in the wrong place, then don't worry. You can just, as I said, move these things up and down to kind of move their positions to get it in the right place. Don't panic, okay? You're new to SmugMug, that's why you're watching this. Some little things will be a little bit frustrating, but the great thing about building a great project like this from the beginning, you're learning so much about what you can physically do within the SmugMug environment. The last thing we're going to do is just add in at the bottom here, we're going to add in a slideshow, and we're just going to put it down the bottom once more. We're going to go into a gallery, choose a gallery, and then we're just going to go into either my first gallery. In this case, I'm going to use my portfolio 23, going to press done. And then you can see the height is automatic, the adjustment in the ratio, the content aware height is there. The playback options are the key things. I am going to put a title in here first. As soon as we do that, remember you've got other options now to change. The playback. Auto start is on, 3 seconds speed. Transition is a fade. The transition is a quick speed here with 1. Randomize image, I'll always encourage you to click on. The splash image is the image you want to start with no matter what. And I would always choose your kind of, what is your main style that you want to actually look. How long is the splash delay going to be on? Well, by the time they get down to the bottom here anyway, it could be up to 20 seconds. So let's say that we're going to change this to 10 seconds instead of 5. And then in the controls, do we want to give them navigation? So in other words, do we want them to be able to go back and forth on the navigation arrows here? Yes, I do. Do I want a play button? I'm going to put that to off. And I want to switch off the full screen. I'm trying to get them to make decisions on this page, not just basically look at all the info and so on with it. So as far as the captions are concerned, if you have captioned your images to do with certain things, like if an image was captioned as confidential boudoir and you had some kind of metadata information within there as well, then leave the captions on. If it's basically just the generalization or the client's name, worst case, you don't want that on. So just click that to off, and then I'll actually lose the bottom part. Back into the basic, we're pretty much done. We can press done here. The only thing that we're waiting for is that video. Let's click over to videos. We'll hit the refresh button and it's now done. So at that point, I haven't stopped what I was doing. I can go back into customization. We know we want this beautiful video. Let's copy that text for a minute. We're going to delete that text now. We're now going to go back into the plus. We're going to grab a video and we're going to put the text in. We centralize again because that's the design style I've gone for. I'm going to go into the site-wide images, into videos, clicking onto that one. And the only thing I need to do now is basically, there's one of those spacer separator lines, and just pop that below the video. So what we've now done, all we've got to do is click on done, and we have completely created a standalone home page that looks completely different to the inside. So remember, with all the navigation that they're going to see on the inside here, if they click onto this icon when they're into the side, that brings them back to the front page. They are back onto now that custom scrolling homepage that we just created. By them clicking onto links, they can go to where they want them to. We kept the home page open, if you remember. Let me just shut these other ones down for a second. We're back onto the home page. If I click the book now, the boudoir experience, the portrait vouchers, or the contact us, whatever it is, we keep that front page open the whole time. On the inside, we have the navigation. We now have a kind of a link here to our images. If they click, unfortunately, at this stage, the way that SmugMug goes to a gallery, we cannot have a setting to keep the front page open as such. So in fact, what I'll be recommending us doing is looking at creating a page in the style instead of going to the gallery. And on that page, we're going to have a gallery of images, and we're going to do that in the next session.